I, Michael Maxwell, have developed a formula, a thing, a factor, And I, Michael Maxwell, call this factor the Max factor.
I like it.
We shall use the Max factor
Okay.
to accomplish this small yet young miracle. 2 packets of cards. Will you tell me the difference between the two?
These are red and these are blue?
Yes, there is another fundamental difference.
This is Texas Hold'em
Pick up the
rules.
packs and examine them. What can you tell me about them?
Rider back, playing card.
Cellophane.
Oh,
Yes. One of them is completely sealed still.
oh, you mean the obvious
Yes,
cards.
the obvious. One of them is sealed.
Yes, it
One of them
is.
is not.
Well, you could have given me a hint.
The sealed,
Give your hand.
the sealed ones we shall place right here.
Okay. Sorry.
Wait. First, I'd like you to shuffle them.
Which ones?
The sealed ones. Just shake them up. There you go. Shuffle them a little more. Good.
Okay.
Now cut them. Close enough. Good.
You really
Okay,
ask
oh,
too
sorry.
much.
I do.
I know.
All right. A deck of cards. We do not need the jokers.
With jokers.
These jokers we do not need. We don't need the box. A deck of cards. Now, you're going to shuffle these cards. However, I don't trust your regular shuffling.
I beg your pardon.
I don't trust it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you do a shuffle where you have control of each and every card on an individual basis. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
If you controlled each and every card on an individual basis, you would have that deck shuffled so well that nobody would be able to know nothing
Okay.
about the order of those cards.
And you're going to teach me how to do it?
I am going to do that. Here's what's going to happen. If you were to hold the deck and you were to deal the cards, well, if I were to hold the deck and you were to tell me to deal a card on the table and then deal another card and then another card, you see it 8, then the queen follows that, then the 7 would follow. However, if you were to say switch, and I were to switch the top 2 cards, in other words, instead of dealing the 7 and then the next card, if I were to switch these 2 cards, then it would be the ace, then the 7. Instead of being the 5 and then the 9, if I were to switch them, it would be the 9 and the 5. Right. So you'd have control over each and every one. Are we ready?
Sure.
Okay. You may say switch or deal. If you say deal, I'll deal one. If you say switch, I'll switch.
Oh, okay. Deal. Oh, you have to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Deal. Switch. Deal. 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 Switch. Deal. We doing the whole deck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, deal. 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 Switch. 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 Deal. 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 Switch. Deal. Switch. Deal. 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 Switch. Switch.
Good.
Switch.
Switch.
Deal.
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 Switch.
Switch.
Deal.
Deal. Good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've controlled each and every card in the entire deck.
Amazing.
We now have a completely sealed deck, which, John, I'd like you to open.
All right.
The seal is still sealed?
Yeah,
It
it's
was.
sealed.
It's sealed.
Glad you had him do that.
Remove the cards, please.
All right.
And discard the jokers.
Okay.
Good. All right, now, hold the deck face down, Patty. Hold the deck face down. Good, like you're going to deal.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I'd like you to deal a card face up right here. John, do the same.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Look at that. Keep dealing in a line across the table. The 4.
Get out.
King,
Oh.
king, 7,
No.
7,
No.
10, 10, ace, ace, 6, 6, 8, 8, ace, ace, jack, jack, 6, 6, 3, 3, king, queen. Slow down. Catch up. 3, 3, 6, 6, 5, 5, 10, 10, 3, 3, 8, 8, 9, jack, jack, stop. As you see, each and every one matches throughout the entire deck. 4, 4, 4, 4, king, king, 7, 7, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 8, 8, 8, 8, king, king, king. Thank you very much. All right, give me a 5. Hey, and that is the max factor. All right, here's a little creation of mine that I call the max factor, and it's a pretty good effect. Strong effect, takes some preparation. You need 2 decks of cards, and here's what you do to start with. You need 2 decks of brand new cards, sealed, still in the case and in the cellophane. And what I did was I took a razor blade X-Acto knife, and on the bottom of the cellophane cut it open. Once I had the cellophane open, I opened the bottom of the box like so, which allowed me to remove the deck whilst keeping the seal and cellophane and the cellophane strip intact at the top of the box. And once I've done that, I remove 2 decks. Ideally, you should do the same treatment to both decks. In other words, you should take the cellophane off the bottom and undo the bottom of both boxes. So you have 2 decks of cards. Remove the jokers to start with, and shuffle one of the decks completely and thoroughly, like so. You do the same thing actually with the other deck in appearance, but really what you do is you set this deck in the exact same order as the one you just shuffled. Black king of clubs, queen of spades, 6 of clubs, jack of diamonds, all the way through. So they're in the exact same order. Once you've done that, you take, say, the red deck, you place a joker on top, a joker on the bottom, and you place the cards back into the box. You take a glue stick and you seal completely the bottom of the box, and you reseal the cellophane that you had opened up also. So in effect, what you have is a deck that for all intents and purposes can be handled and examined, and it looks completely brand new and unopened. Actually, in a pinch, I've also just taken your basic Scotch brand magic Scotch tape and taped the bottom of the box since it's all but invisible. You can even tape the cellophane. In fact, I've done that to this box right here. This is the one I actually used in performance, and you know, it stands scrutiny. You can have them, you know, you don't point it out or anything, say examine the cellophane, but it's an easier way to do it. So you've got that sealed, and ideally, as I said, you've done this to both decks. So you have ostensibly a sealed red deck and a sealed blue deck. So you ask them to select a deck. Whichever one they pick, they may place into their pocket. So let's say they select a red deck, or the blue deck, it goes into their pocket, and we'll get back to that. So they have a sealed deck. You remove the other deck, and it is again in the same order as the one that is sealed inside their box. You explain that you're going to have them shuffle the deck. but you want to make sure that they have control over each and every card in the deck individually. And you'll explain what that means. For example, if they were to deal the cards, now you hold the cards like you're going to deal, and you get rid of the jokers, and you deal from the top of the deck face up. And you continue dealing. You'll notice that the queen, that this next card would follow the 6, the jack, etc. However, if you were to switch these top 2 cards, instead of coming off 8 of diamonds, 8 of hearts, if you were to switch them, they come off 8 of hearts, 8 of diamonds. So if you were to deal here, 10 of hearts, 3 of diamonds, instead, if you were to switch the top 2, they would come off 3 and 10. It would reverse. Now this is very important because you're dealing starting face down, switching, and then turning face up. It actually is altering the order of the cards. But in practice, when you have them actually do the dealing, they deal like this. For example, there's king, queen, 6. Now the jack would go next. If you tell them to switch, they do so. The jack still goes next. So actually it is not altering the order of the cards at all. So you have them deal down through the entire deck. Anytime they want, they can switch the 2 cards before they deal them onto the table. So you can deal them for them. That's probably better to do that. So you have them say deal, 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 switch, switch, deal, switch. Whenever they say switch, you just openly switch the next 2 cards, or deal, switch, deal, switch, deal, etc., etc. And they go throughout the entire deck. And since they started in the same order, I should have pointed out, before you sealed the deck, you need to make sure that you reverse the order of one of the decks. In other words, once they're in perfect order, the same exact order, one of them you reverse count so that it's in the exact opposite order. That way when you do this deal, because it reverses the order, it puts the decks in exactly the same order. So once they've gone through, you point out how strong it is that they've shuffled the deck completely, having control over each and every card individually. You then have them break the cellophane seal, break the paper seal, bring out the deck, and you can deal the cards face up on the table at the same time. They deal and you deal at the same time, and you show that the decks are magically in the same order, and that is called the max factor. Have you ever played poker, Patty?
Yes.
Have you had a poker patty? Sometimes I go to poker patties. Different than a hamburger patty or a peppermint patty.
A peppermint patty.
But this is a poker party. Poker party, party poker. Okay. Deck of cards. I'm going to teach you how to cheat at poker.
Yay.
Now here is how a professional poker player would cheat, and I'll do this in slow motion. No, just kidding. No. I'll show you demonstrating with the 4 aces. I didn't do anything yet.
No.
Shaking your head like I did something amazing. Okay, that's fine. It makes it easy to do. All right, the 4 aces go on the bottom of the deck. Now, what the professional cheater would do is give the cards a false shuffle. This isn't as hard as it sounds, because what I'll do is just riffle off the 4 aces first, leaving them on the bottom so that the aces stay on the bottom of the deck. I can do this as many times as I like, and the aces stay on the bottom. Now I shall deal cards, 5 hands, and each time I get to my hand, what I do is push over the top card, but what I really do is take the bottom card of the deck, giving myself an ace. This is called, in the business, bottom dealing, or dealing from the cellar, the basement. Each time I get to the bottom, gives me an ace. Now if I were to do this in fast motion, In fast motion, you wouldn't be able to see it happen. I'll do it in semi-fast motion there. Not too bad. So you push over the top card, take the bottom card, and essentially giving yourself an almost unbeatable hand of 4 aces. Okay? Now I'm going to do this again, only this time I'm going to do it more quickly so that I try to fool you with it. And I'm going to do an advanced version of this, something that's almost mythical among card cheats, and that's what's known as center dealing. Now this is not dealing from the bottom of the deck, but just as the name implies, it's dealing from the center of the deck. So there are the aces, make no mistake about it. They go into the pack. Covered
Why
completely.
is he talking to us like we're 5th graders?
Because I feel like
Okay. Go ahead.
Here we go. Ready? Now, since there aren't 5 aces in the deck, the last one I can just take from the top. But I wanted it to look like I was taking all of them from the top. How did it look?
It
it
did.
looked
Look
exactly
It looked pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see, just for fun, what the other players had. Pair of 8s. See this guy, 8 and 8. Never mind. Well, actually, there's a special name for this ace. It's called the indicator ace. Yeah, it indicates the trick didn't work.
That's what we were thinking.
Just for fun, let's see what the other guys had. Now look, this guy. If we were drawing, this guy could make a flush.
If he's a 4-flusher.
But the trick happened to flush by itself.
Yes.
And the last guy, well, he's got a pair of deuces.
And another.
You're screwed.
Well, yeah, I kind of blew it. But I am a magician. So when I am not a gambling cheat, a card cheat, a cellar dweller, and a center dealer, I cheat. Like a magician would cheat. So I give myself a winning hand by magic. You see, I get the 10, the jack, the queen, the king, and the ace of spades, giving myself a royal flush and an unbeatable hand. That is how you cheat at poker.
But he's not going to explain.
All right, this is called cheating at poker. A very simple poker deal that has a surprise ending and also kind of explains a little bit how card cheats cheat at poker. And here's how it goes. You remove the 4 aces from the deck, but unbeknownst to the audience, you also have on top of the deck the 10, the jack, the queen, and the king of spades. Those go on top of the deck. You then explain how a card cheat would cheat at poker by dealing from the bottom of the deck. Everybody's heard of dealing from the bottom of the deck. You're just going to demonstrate how it's done. So you take the aces, they go on the bottom of the deck. You explain to them how a false shuffle works. In other words, if the aces are on the bottom and you shuffle past them, it leaves them on the bottom, thus preserving the stack. What they don't also know at that point is you're also preserving the top stack where you have the 10, the jack, the queen, and the king of spades. So you keep the aces on the bottom of the deck. You then deal out 5 hands of poker. However, when you get to your own hand, you reach in and you take the bottom card. Now, you don't try to hide this. It can look as bad or as sloppy as possible. You just reach in and take the bottom card. You're just demonstrating what a bottom deal looks like. So you deal yourself an ace. You deal around. Now, each time you do it, if you can deal a semi-decent bottom deal, you know, you push over the card, you're going to push out with these fingers, and you can do it in slow motion. You're giving yourself the 4 aces. But you're also stacking the deck to give yourself a royal flush in just a little bit. So you deal, there's the 3rd one, there's the 4th, and naturally there aren't 5 aces in the deck, so the last one can come off the top. and what you have is an almost unbeatable hand of 4 aces. Now when you show these, you need to make sure that the ace of spades is the face card of the pile, and that goes on top of the deck. What they don't know is when you reassemble the deck, the other royal flush cards are on the bottom of each of the other hands. And now you tell them that you've placed the aces in the center. You're now going to demonstrate an even more difficult cheating method called the center deal, dealing the aces from the center, because that's where you place them. And this time you want to deal fairly quickly and make it look as though you're a real pro. So you deal around telling them that you're dealing from the center of the deck. To them it looks exactly like you're dealing from the top, which of course you are. And you explain to them that since there's not 4 aces, the last one can come right off the top, which is what you do, and you do it in very slow motion. You now do a little throw-off. You say, let's take a look just for fun at the other hands and see what they had. You turn over these hands and show them, and there's not much of consequence here. But sooner or later, you're going to come to the second hand here, where they're going to see there's an ace. You don't really call attention to it, because believe me, they will for you. You say, well, you know, there's nothing really of consequence there. And it's looking like things are not going too well for me at this point. I guess you guys have noticed that, you know, that some aces are showing up. But, well, you know, I never profess to be a card cheat. I am a magician, so that's, I guess, what I'll have to do in order to win. And there's only one thing that beats 4 aces in poker, and that is the 10, the jack, the queen, the king, and the ace of spades, a royal flush, and that gives me the winning poker hand. Cheating at poker. Give it a try. John, do me a favor, please shuffle the cards.
Okay.
You've done this before, haven't you?
It seems like I've done it so many times.
Probably got calluses on your fingers.
No, I'm okay.
Oh, it's from something else.
I'm okay.
Got it. All right. Would you please cut the deck into 3 semi-equal portions?
All right.
Pick up the center portion and shuffle it.
Okay.
Okay, now I want to see if you can follow directions well, so take the deck as though you were going to deal.
Yeah.
Good. And now deal cards one at a time, face up from the packet onto the table. And I want you, all right, so you know how to do that. Put them back. I want you to deal cards from the top just like that, face up. I want you to remember one of the cards and remember the number at which it falls.
Okay.
While my back is turned. Okay? Now I'm going to give you complete directions, because you know what? I have to use the restroom. And so I'm going to leave while you do this. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to deal cards face up just like that. You're going to remember your card and the number at which it falls. Okay?
I understand that part.
Good. Once you've done that, deal all the way through.
Yeah.
Place the cards right there, face down. Patty, while he's doing that, I'd like you to shuffle one of these 2 packets.
Okay.
And then, John, you will drop your cards that you dealt with and select a card on top of her shuffled packet. You will then shuffle the remaining packet and drop it on top of everything. You will then cut the whole deck several times.
Not a problem.
I will be back in just a moment.
Take your time.
Have a
Go
good
right
time.
ahead. Okay, how we doing? Are we all done?
Did you wash?
I feel much better. Yes, I did.
Good.
It said it in Spanish over the mirror. It's the law. I have to do it.
It's the law.
All right, so you selected a card, you have a number, correct? I am now going to memorize the entire pack in an extremely quick fashion. Okay? Now, you know what card he
Yes, I do.
selected, but do you know his number?
Yes.
You know the number it was too.
Yes.
What number was it?
I believe it was number 4, wasn't it? It was number 4.
Number 4, so it was a small number.
Yes.
Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please name the card that you selected.
6 of spades.
6 of spades.
Yes.
Good.
Very good.
The bathroom card trick. This is a fun trick. This was shared to me. It's a favorite of a real close friend of mine, Gary Butler. Thank you very much, Gary, for allowing us to use this. We've always called it the bathroom trick because of Gary's presentation of having to use the restroom right in the middle of the trick. It fits in perfectly. So we'll call it the bathroom trick, or I gotta go, I suppose, would be another good name for it that we'll call it. At any rate, it starts off with a shuffle deck of cards, which they do. You then ask the spectator to cut the deck into 3 piles. They can then pick up any one of the piles they like, and they may shuffle that pile, which is pretty fair. And you then tell them that you want them to deal, and this is, of course, while your back is turned. You say you're going to turn your back. You want them to deal cards into a pile from the top, face up, counting the cards as they do so, and remembering one of them. Remember the card that they want to remember, plus the number at which it falls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say they remembered the ace of clubs and it's the 7th card. But don't stop there. Have them deal completely all the way down. And you have them practice this. You give them the deck and you tell them to start to deal. Now, as soon as they start to deal, you remember the first card that they deal. And after a few cards, you say, no, 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 you don't want to do it yet. You want to wait till my back is turned. Now, they put these back, but you already know the 2 of hearts, the top card. So now your back is turned. And as a matter of fact, you tell them, you say, you know what, I need to use the restroom, so I'm going to tell you the rest of the instructions here. You're going to deal down through. Once you've done that, you're going to shuffle another packet. You're going to drop your cards on top of it. You're going to shuffle the final packet and drop it on top of your cards, and then you may cut the entire deck a few times if you like. So you take off, going to the bathroom. And of course, remember, you know that top card is the 2. So let's say they deal down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say they remember the 10th card and it's the 5 of clubs. And they continue dealing down. So 5 of clubs, 10th card. They deal all the way through. They mix this pile. They place their pile on top. They mix this pile. They drop it on top. They can give the cards a complete cut as many times as they wish. You then return from where you were. You take the deck and you can spread it. You can look at it and you're looking for your key card. In this case, the key card was the 2 of hearts, which we found down here. And all you have to do is make sure that you tell them that you're memorizing the deck. And all you have to do is make sure you cut the deck at that point so the 2 of hearts is on top. As amazing as it seems, their card is now at the same number as they remembered before, which is 10. So their card, the 5 of clubs, is the 10th card down. So you ask them, you say, what was your number? And they say 10. You say, okay, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th card, what was your card? They say the 5 of clubs. You turn it over. There it is, the bathroom trick, or I gotta go. John, Patty, I have here a folded piece of paper. In itself, not very exciting.
True.
However, later, it can become very exciting. In fact, right now, I'd like you to take this and place it in a very safe place, a place of honor.
Oh, you saw that coming. I saw that coming.
I can control her with my mind.
Yeah.
Patty, we also have a book. In this case, The Art of Writing Advertising, or Horse Pucky. The book is going to help us in just a moment. John, what I'd like you to do, here, I will shuffle the deck. Fair enough. We won't overdo this, but John's so tired of shuffling. John, I'd like you to cut the deck anywhere you like. Just cut a portion aside. Good. Now, we'll mark the spot where you cut. Patty, how many pages are in the book?
Can I look?
Yes. No, guess.
995. No. 25. What you want?
125.
right.
125 pages. That's a lot of words.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
125 pages. How many words on a page approximately do you think?
2,000.
Couple hundred
Really?
on a page?
I don't know. I've been in college for a
Probably
long time.
250.
All right. Now, let's take the card that John cut to. Would you please turn that over and tell us what it is?
It's the 6 of diamonds.
Or in this case, just a 6.
Or a 6.
Because what this 6 means is the 6th word. Yes, the 6th word. But this begs the question, which 6th word?
Yeah.
Good question.
We need a page number.
We do.
Please take the card, the 6, and face down, push it into the deck anywhere you like. Right there. That's good. All right? Now, actually, I should have had you do that face up, but that's okay. That's okay. It's not a mistake. And what was the card? The 6 of?
6 of diamonds.
6 of diamonds. Okay. Now, the 6 of diamonds, the book, the prediction,
Okay.
and you place the card into the deck at a random spot between 2 cards. Correct?
Correct.
Nobody forced you to do this.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look, because this is our page number. Page 73. Page 73, 6th word on page 73. John, would you please look up the 6th word on page 73?
Oh, this is getting spooky.
Okay, here's 73. And the 6th word from, like, the beginning? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Agency.
Agency. Would you please remove the prediction from its place of honor? Right on the center of the table, unfold it, and show everybody.
No way.
What does it say? The word agency.
I'll be damned.
Very,
That's
very
How'd you do that?
good.
Some fake old book. Huh?
Oh.
Okay, this is the book test. Yeah, it's a very simple way of divining clairvoyantly a word from a borrowed book. It can be a borrowed book, so you need any book, and you find a page somewhere in the center of the book. In this case, I've used page 73, and I've gone in 5 or 6 words and found a nice, interesting word. In this case, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the 6th word in is the word agency. And I've taken that, and that's on page 73, 6th word in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th word in on page 73 is agency. So on a piece of paper, I've written the word agency. This is my prediction, which is folded, placed for safekeeping, given to a spectator. They can sit on it, put it in their pocket, whatever they want. Now, the deck, on top of the deck, you have any 6. This is going to designate the word. Then, following that, you have a 3, and on the bottom you have a 7. So remember, 73, it's in inverse order. It's not the 7 on top of the deck and the 3 on the bottom. It's the reverse. The 3 is on top, the 7 is on the bottom. It will end up correct in the end. So you've got your 6, your 3, and your 7. To begin, you point out the book, ask them how many pages are in the book total, how many words are on a page, how many words do you think there are. There are thousands upon thousands of words in the book, and you're going to figure out just one of them with their help. You have them, and by the way, you can give a false shuffle if you like. Once again, going past the bottom card, keeping the top cards intact, no problem there. You then ask them to cut the cards. They cut off a portion, and you crisscross and say, we'll mark the spot where you cut. Now, in reality, this is the top card of the deck, but you want them to forget about that. We use what's called time misdirection. And that's the part where you can come in and have them examine the book and see how many words are on the page and how many pages there are, etc., etc. Say, okay, great, let's take a look at the card that you cut to, and you remove that card. You place the deck back into the order in which it started, where the 3 was on top and the 7 was on the bottom. They look at this card, which was the 6. You ask them to place it anywhere in the deck that they like, which they do, and you now do Bill Simon's business card move, which is a very simple method of sandwiching 2 force cards around a card sticking out of the deck. And here's how you do it. You hold the cards like you're going to deal. You spread over the top portion until you reach the card that's sticking out of the deck. The upper portion, with fingers below, thumb above, you turn down like so, and you just wedge that card underneath your thumb. That's all you do. You turn the upper portion down and wedge that right under your thumb, just like that. Okay? So here's how it looks. Spread down, hold the out jog card here, turn these down, wedge it under your thumb, turn back palm up, and place these on top of it. That sandwiches that 6 between the 3 and the 7. So let's see what it looks like in full speed. Remember, the 3 is on top, 7's on the bottom. They've placed the 6 into the deck. Say, I'd like to see what card that is. You spread down. You just turn it like so. You say you placed it into the deck between 2 cards. Now that 6 means something. It means the 6th word in the book. But which 6th word? That's the question. Well, we need a page. And these cards will indicate what page that's to be. Page 73. The 6th word on page 73. They turn to page 73, count over to the 6th word. It's agency, as we already know. You have them remove the prediction, open it up. Agency is the prediction. You've just done a nice little miracle with no work, and that's the book test. Patty, have you ever been arrested?
No.
No?
Not yet.
What kind of fun is that? There's still hope.
I know. On the way home tonight.
Well, you know what? Sometimes when you're arrested, if they think you're guilty but you say you're not, they give you what's known as a polygraph test. And this is commonly termed a lie detector test to determine whether you're lying or telling the truth.
Right.
The deck of cards can do that as well. The deck of cards can determine whether you're lying or telling the truth, and we're going to do an experiment to find out just how good of a little liar you are.
I have to lie.
You have to. No, you can lie or tell the truth.
Okay.
And here's what we're going to do. I would like you to cut off a small pack of cards, about a quarter of the deck. Okay? Now, take them beneath the table, face down like you're going to deal, and I'd like you to silently, very silently, count how many cards there are. Okay? No mistakes, just count how many cards there are.
Okay.
All right, hand the packet to John.
Under the table?
No, it doesn't matter. Then we don't know what you're up to.
I know.
All right, now what you're going to do is however many cards were in that pile, you're going to count that many cards, actually more than that many cards. You're going to count cards from the top of the deck. You're going to go like this. You're going to go 1, 2, but silently, 3. You're going to keep going, and you're going to remember the card that falls at the number of cards that was in your packet. But don't stop at your number. I want you to go past just a number, any number of cards you want to go past that number. Then stop.
What should I do?
Watch me. Wait, can I count these? Now what?
Did you go past your number?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You're sure?
Yes.
All right. Just drop them back on top. John, drop those on top. So this is really fair. You cut off any number of cards. You silently counted them. You then counted from the rest of the deck, which had been shuffled, how down to that number, memorized the card, but you didn't stop at that number, so I couldn't have any kind of guess as to what that number was.
True.
All right. Here is how the card is going to work in a lie detector type fashion. All right. Was your card a black card or a red card? Now you may lie or tell the truth. Up to you.
Okay.
Black or red?
Red.
Red. That's R-E-D. You said red, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you lied or told the truth.
Correct.
Okay. Was your card a heart, a club, a spade, or a diamond?
Can I lie or tell the truth?
You may lie or tell the truth.
It was a heart.
A heart. That's H-E-A-R-T. Was your card a odd card or an even card?
Even.
E-V-E-N. Was your card a number card or a court card? This is the last question. Lie or tell the truth?
Court.
Court card. C-O-U-R-T. And now, for the first time, I want you to totally tell the truth. What was the name of your card?
5 of diamonds.
5 of diamonds. Shit. 5 of diamonds. Thank you very much.
Excellent, 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 excellent.
All right. Okay, this is self-controlled lie speller. It's an ingenious effect created by Simon Aronson. Thank you to Simon for allowing us to use the effect. Uses any deck of cards which may be shuffled by the spectator. You ask them to cut off a small portion, about a quarter of the deck. They're to take that pile below the tabletop and silently count how many cards there are. So, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards. They are to hold on to that packet and remember the number 13. From the rest of the deck, what they're to do is use that number 13 and remember the card at the 13th position in the following manner. They look at a card and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now they remember the card at 13, the 2 of clubs, but they don't stop. They continue dealing for as long as they like, a few cards or even more. So 13 is the 2 of clubs, but they continue going on through 13, and they can stop anywhere they like. Now remember, the 2 was the 13th card. Now they don't have to keep counting, and they don't even have to keep memorizing, but they have to keep dealing. But what you do at this point is you need to know exactly how many cards they end up dealing. So that's 13. Let's say they keep going 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's say they stop there. You have no idea which card was theirs or where it was in the pack. All you know is that there are 20 cards here. Now what you do is you have them pick up these cards, drop them on top of the deck, then remove the packet from the very beginning and drop it on top. Believe it or not, if they follow this procedure, their card is now one more than the number of cards they dealt on the table that you counted. In other words, we counted 20 cards. That puts their card, the 2 of clubs, at 21. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, the 2 of clubs. Just like that. Amazing. Now what Simon has done is he has taken and put it into a lie speller type effect. And here's how that works. You explain to the spectators that they're going to take a lie detector test and that any of the questions you ask, they may either lie or tell the truth. It's entirely up to them. And whatever they do, you're going to find out by them lying or telling the truth the exact identity of their card. So you start off by asking the color of their card, and they can lie or tell the truth. Let's say they say black. You deal out B-L-A-C-K. Easiest to deal in a row like that, makes it easier to count. So far you've got 5 cards. Remember, the 21st card is their selection. You then ask what the suit of the card is. Let's say they say it's a diamond. So you spell D-I-A-M-O-N-D, diamond. So you've got 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've got 9 more to go to get to 21. You ask a third question. Was your card odd or even? Let's say they say even. So that's E-V-E-N, even. So you've got 5 and 4 is 9 and 7 is 16. Now you're very close to 21. You're only 5 away. And there's a little key here for 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If the card were 3 away, you would ask, did you lie? Yes or no? And you would spell yes or no. If it was 4 away, you ask, is your card high or low? And you would spell high or low. In this case, it's 5 away. So we ask, were your answers false or true? Let's say they say false. That would be F-A-L-S-E. That's the 21st card, that 2 of clubs. There's their selection. And you say, now for the very first time, I want you to tell the truth. What was the name of your card? They say the 2 of clubs, you turn it over. Now for 6, you say, is your card a number card or a court card? Number 7, is your card a picture card or a number card? Let me go through those again. You want to ask 2 or 3 questions to get within 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 cards away from the card that they selected. If it's 3 away, you ask, did you lie? Yes or no. If it's 4 away, you ask, is your card a high card or a low card? If it's 5 away, you ask, are your answers false or true? If it's 6 away, you ask, is your card a number card or a court card? And finally, if it's 7 away, is your card a picture card or a number card? And using this procedure, they may lie, they may tell the truth. You always find the card in the end. It's an extremely baffling effect thanks to the ingenious mind of Simon Aronson. Thanks, Simon. Okay, here we go. Patty and John.
Yes.
2 envelopes, a deck of cards, a pen, and thou. Please examine an envelope. An envelope. You say envelope, I say envelope.
Okay.
Are they free from guile?
Looks okay to me.
This one has a little guile.
I didn't see any guile at all.
Mine's guileless.
Okay. And a pen and a deck of cards. Okay. We're going to use the aces for this experiment. All right? So we'll remove the aces. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And there is 4. 4 aces. I shall place 3 cards on top of each ace. Just like so. Now, Patty, you're going to choose one of the 4 aces. I want you to make sure you have an absolutely free choice. So I'd like you to think of one,
Okay.
change your mind, think of another one,
Okay.
change your mind a third time, and finally settle on an ace.
Driving her nuts.
It's not a long trip.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You've got one? Which one is it?
Do I have to tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, the ace of diamonds.
The ace of diamonds. The reason you have to tell me is because I'm going to place them in an envelope for you. Okay?
Good.
So,
The guileless one?
into the envelope. We close the envelope using the preferred French method.
Now it has guile.
And this is envelope number 1. And would you please initial the envelope? PB, my favorite,
That would be me.
peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Okay, and you hold on to that.
Okay.
All right? Now, the other 3 aces, as well as their 3 cards, each go into this envelope, also sealed. Fair enough? All right. And this is number 2. And it goes into my pocket. Oh, John, I should have had you initial. Please initial. Now, actually, I want to keep it in full view, so you hold on to that envelope. All right. Now, you may hold yours like hers.
Okay.
Good. Now, I want you to hold the end of each envelope,
So?
the very end, just
So?
with one hand.
This one.
One hand from the side, like this end. And turn so they're pointed towards each other, and go.
I feel like an idiot.
And look like one who... Keep going. Good. That's 1 card. Again.
Oh, no.
That's 2.
Can we do 2 at a time?
Again. Good. You may set the envelopes down. As amazing as it seems. John, tear the end off your envelope. What did that packet consist of?
3 aces and 9 other cards.
Deal them. Turn. Look at that. They're still face down. They've changed in the exact position they were. There are no aces whatsoever. All in different cards. Patty, tear open your sealed envelope.
You're really spooking me out.
3 face down, 1 face up. There's your ace of diamonds. Turn them over. All 4 aces. Thank you, guys. You're wonderful. Okay, this is the explanation for flighty aces, which is an ace assembly done inside envelopes. Very effective and very easy to do. You need 3 envelopes, a Sharpie marker, a deck of cards. In addition to the deck of cards, you also need 12 additional aces, 3 of each suit. So what you do is you take, for example, an envelope marked number 2, and you seal inside the following: a face-up card, 3 face-down cards, a face-up card, 3 face-down cards, a face-up card, and 3 face-down cards. This packet is what is sealed inside the envelope marked number 2. And they are not aware of this envelope at this time. So, let's start here back from the beginning. This envelope is in your, if you're wearing a coat, inside breast pocket, or it can be in your pants pocket, unbeknownst to the spectators. So, what you have here is the 4 aces that came from the deck originally. The ace of clubs is the 5th card from the face. The 10th card from the face is the ace of diamonds. The 15th card from the face is the ace of hearts. And the 20th card from the face is the ace of spades. Now, all your duplicate aces, the 12 duplicate aces, are on top of the deck in the following order from the top down. Diamond, heart, spade, club, heart, spade, club, diamond, spade, club, diamond, heart. Those 12 aces in that order on top of the deck. And of course you have the other 2 envelopes. When ready to begin, you take the deck and you say, I'm going to remove the aces from the deck. And you go through, and as you reach them, you place them in a row from left to right. Once that's done, you reassemble the deck, turn it face down, and you deal cards, again, from left to right, 1 on each ace, continue back and forth until there are 3 cards on each ace. Unbeknownst to the audience, there are 1 ace of each suit in each of the 4 piles. This allows you to have a spectator select any one of the 4 aces, totally free selection. So you ask them to select an ace. Let's say they select the ace of hearts. You take that pile, place it inside the envelope. Don't let them see any of the other cards. And you seal the envelope. Once it is completely sealed, you mark it with a number 1, and you have the spectator initial and hold on to that envelope. You then take the other 12 cards, the remaining envelope, and they go inside that envelope, which is also sealed. And on that envelope, you place a 2. And you place it inside your pocket. You pause for a moment, you say, oh, wait a minute, I would like that one to be initialed also. You bring out the one that was in there from the beginning, the one that you had sealed. So you just do an easy pocket switch. It can be done in the breast pocket or in the hip pocket, as explained. Have another spectator initial that one. And at that point, it's all over except for the magical gestures. You can take and you can say, look, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 aces, just like that. They tear open the envelope. They remove the cards. They're in the same position, face up and face down, that they were to start with, just like so. What were supposedly aces have now completely changed. They're all in different cards. The envelope that's been in their possession the entire time that they seal, that they initialed, they remove, and inside they find the 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. That's called flighty aces, and you end up totally clean because the extras are stowed away in your pocket. Thank you. Patty, please do me a favor and shuffle the cards, something you probably have never done before.
Yeah, I can work at this.
All right. While you're shuffling the cards, I want you to think of a number, not just any number. I want you to think of a 4-digit number. Now, it can be a date if you want to make it easy to remember, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. You can think of any 4-digit number. And just to make it easy on yourself, I'd like you to, once you're done with shuffling the deck, set the deck down. I'll turn my head. You write your 4-digit number down.
Okay.
Okay? Now, what I'd like you to do, once you have that 4-digit number written down is I'd like you to add the 4 digits together. And whatever that total is, place it underneath the 4-digit number, draw a line, and subtract the smaller number from the larger number. Now I'd like you to take the deck face up, and I'd like you to remove 4 cards whose values correspond to that answer you just got, to the 4 digits of the answer you just got, but make sure that all 4 are of different suits. So if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, your number, you'd remove an ace, a 2, a 3, and a 4, all of different suits. Okay, so recap, 4-digit number, added those together, subtracted the smaller from the larger, and whatever the answer was, removed values of cards that corresponded to those 4 digits, each of a different suit.
Okay.
You've got that done?
Have that done.
All right, get rid of your cheat card, so I can't see that. And now remove one of the 4 cards and place your hands over it, leaving the other 3 on the table.
Can I look at them?
Yeah, sure. Just keep 1, memorize 1, and keep it into your hand so I can't see it.
Okay.
Okay?
I have one of the cards.
All right. And these 3 cards we don't need, okay?
Okay.
Concentrate on your card.
Okay.
It is a red card.
Yes, it is.
Ah, the kid's a wizard, sorry. It is a heart.
Yes.
Yes. And it is a number card. Not only is it a number card, it is a crooked card. It loops around and it makes the 6 of hearts. Show them. The 6 of hearts.
All right.
Okay, this is called the magic number trick. Uses a little bit of math, a few numbers to help find a selected card. Here's how it's done. You ask a spectator to think of any 4-digit number. It can be a date, a year, or just any 4-digit number. In this case, let's say they used 1950. 1950. You then have them add the 4 digits together. 1 and 9 is 10, 5 is 15, and you write that number below, which you then subtract. In this case, you end up with 1935. Now, if you use these digits to correspond with values of cards in the deck, with 1 being an ace, and 9 being a 9, 3 being a 3, and 5 being a 5, and have them remove 4 cards from the deck that correspond in value to those numbers, each of a different suit. So that's what you have them do. They remove an ace, a 9, a 3, and a 5, all of different suits. So there's a 5 of hearts, there's a 9 of clubs, we need an ace of diamonds, and so we still need a spade. We need the 3 of spades to complete our 4-card run. So that's what they've done, is they remove those 4 cards. Now, they mix those up, they remove any one of the 4, and they hand you the remaining ones, which you look at, and you add up. In this case, 8, 9. Now, you have 3 numbers, 18, 27, and 36. That's all you have to remember. Whichever one is closest to the total of these 3, in this case 9, so 18 would be the closest, you use that to subtract. So 18 minus 9 is 9. And the missing suit here is the club, therefore telling you that the card that they selected and thought of is the 9 of clubs. And it's that simple. You add up the digits, subtract from either 18, 27, or 36, whichever one is closest to the total of those 3 cards. The missing suit, easy enough to find, and that is the magic number trick. In the world of decks, there are big decks and little decks, and sometimes you prefer the little deck.
Not very often.
All righty.
Sorry.
I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards. Right? Wrong.
Half cards.
Half cards. There are only 6 cards. You see, because I have cut the cards in half, each one matching. You see there's the queen, there's the jack, there's the 10s, the kings, the 7, 10s, the ace. All right. I want you to mix those up completely, John.
All right.
Now, is that fair?
Pretty fucking fair, yeah.
Bleep.
Mix them up.
Okay, they're mixed.
All right. Now, I am going to turn my back. I want you to hand a group of those cards to Patty.
A group.
Yeah, just some of them. Just hand some of them to Patty. And the only reason I want that, I want each of you to count how many half cards you each hold and keep that number to yourselves. So you'll have a number, John, and she'll have a number. This is just the only reason you separated the packet was so you each have a different small number. You got that? Now combine the packets again and reshuffle.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, once you've done that, would you like to go first, John, or should we have Patty go
I want to
first?
go first.
All right.
Don't be grabbing.
Thank
I
you.
want to go first.
All right, you go first. I am going to count down and show you the cards, and you remember the card that falls at your number.
Okay.
All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have it? All right. Don't forget your card. You have a different number than he. I'm going to show you the cards, and you remember the card that falls at your number.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have your card?
I have my card.
So we're each thinking of a card. All right. What I'd like you to do, John, is I'd like you to look through there, remove the half card that corresponds with your card, place it face down, don't let anybody see it right in front of you.
Just half of it.
Yeah, don't take the whole card, just half.
Okay. Got it.
Got it? Hand the packet to Patty. Patty, you remove your card, don't let anybody see it, and place it face down in front of you. Got it? Get rid of the rest. You each thought of a different card based on a number that, from a shuffled packet of cards. At the count of 3 at the same time, name your card out loud. 1, 2, 3.
Queen of clubs.
Thank you very much.
Oh, very good.
Great one.
Very
That's
good.
great.
That's excellent.
Okay, I really, really like this effect. It's really simple, it's different, and very magical. It uses 6 cards. However, you've taken and you've cut the 6 cards in half. This is called jumbo two-way split, by the way. So you've got 12 half cards, and they can be thoroughly mixed and shuffled by members of the audience. So you're dealing with 2 people, 2 helpers in this instance, and you tell them that you're going to show them the cards. Actually, you give them to one person to shuffle. That one person shuffles, and then you ask them to cut off a portion of the packet and hand it to the other spectator. Now, each spectator counts their packet. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. That person would remember 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This person would remember 5. Its packets only separated in order for them to each get a number. They then put the packets back together. They're again reshuffled. So one remembers 7, one remembers 5. So you turn to the one and you say, I'm going to show you cards, and I want you to remember the one that falls at your number. Okay? So this person's going to remember the one that falls at 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're going to remember that, the ace of diamonds. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now here comes the crucial move. You use this last card to scoop all these cards up to pick them up. You now come to the second person and tell them to remember the one that falls at their number. So they're thinking of 5. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Believe it or not, the 5th card is going to match the same one that the first person thought of. It just automatically works. So that's 5. You continue. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You now hand the packet to one of the spectators and ask them to remove one half of their card and place it on the table. The other spectator gets it and they remove one from theirs. You say, I will count to 3. Each of you turn your respective cards face up. 1, 2, 3. They've magically found the one that matched, and that is Jumbo two-way split. Patty and John, do you like comedy?
You bet.
All right, yes, let's infuse some comedy into this show. You know, many of the best and most successful comedians are teams. Ronan Martin, Martin and Lewis, Abbott and Costello,
Laura and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy, or Laura and Hardy,
Or Laura.
or John and Patty.
I knew you were
John
going
and
to
Patty.
say
The famous
John and Patty
comedy
show.
routine of John and Patty.
We're a scream.
You are going to be hilarious. I have here some cards. Some of them are labeled straight lines. Some of them are labeled punch lines. A straight line is a setup line. A punch line is how to finish the joke, and you're each going to help out. Here's an example of a straight line. For example, this one says, my mother-in-law got a mud pack at the beauty salon. And let's, an example of a punchline, obviously the wrong one. Last night she called from a motel. Now that makes no sense at all. I mean, it has a slight amount of humor, simply because of the non-sequitorial
it's
manner.
goofy.
Yes, it's goofy.
Goofy.
Technical term. Technical comedy term. All right, so one of you will deliver straight lines, one will deliver punch lines. Which would you like to be?
The straight line.
Straight line. We shall give you the straight lines. Just hold those right in front of you, like so.
I'll let
John, you get to do the punch lines. Now, there is a phrase here that is going to help us, and it's how I'm going to mentally assist you guys in being funny. This is the magic part. Will the jokes match? Will the jokes match? Patty, you may choose yourself or John for this first procedure.
John.
John. John, hold those like you're going to deal. The first word is will. Transfer one card for each letter out loud from the top to the bottom of will. W.
W.
I.
L.
L. L. Patty, you or John? Pick again.
Me.
You. The. Transfer.
T.
H. E. I'm sorry. Do me a favor and put that back.
E.
Because I forgot to, after John transferred, I forgot to take a straight line and a punch line and place them together.
Okay.
Okay? So T-H-E.
T-H-E.
Good. Will the jokes? You or John?
Me.
Spell.
J-O-K-E-S.
Good. And you or John? Last one.
John.
Match.
Match. M-A-T-C-H.
Good. Now you're each left with a straight line and a punch line. Now this was the magic part. You could have chosen either you or John.
Yes.
The cards were cut, mixed. Let's see what we got. Read out loud as though you were a comedy team. There's the microphone.
I recently got a job as a waitress at an insane asylum.
I served soup to nuts.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
Nice delivery,
Would you pick
John.
one of the other cards, please?
Oh, both.
Which pair? Which pair?
This pair.
All right. Straight line, punch line. Did you want the straight line or the punch line?
Oh, give me the punchline this time.
John, in a loud, clear voice, to the microphone.
I told my wife to talk to me during sex.
Last night she called from a motel. I like this one.
And Patty, what would you like to do?
I'll do the punchline again.
John.
My mother-in-law got a mud pack at the beauty salon.
She looked great for 2 days, then the mud fell off.
Straight or punch line. They're
do the
matching.
straight.
Yes,
Let
they are.
John
You
and
got the
let John
point.
have the
All right, go right ahead.
Okay, yesterday my uncle drank a quart of shellac.
He died, but what a finish!
And one final straight or punch. Straight or punch.
I'll do the straight.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I've been training my dog for months, and today he went on the paper 3 times.
Twice while I was reading it.
The famous comedy stylings of John and Patty. Woo! We suck. Okay, this is a fun trick. While not using playing cards per se, it does use cards, these 3x5 index cards, but real nice presentation. It's called Match Game, creation of Larry Becker. Some nice mentalism, funny jokes, lots of audience participation. And here's how you set it up. You need 10 of these cards. And on the backs of 5 of them, you write straight line. On the backs of the other 5, you write punch line. Now, on the first card, you write, my mother-in-law got a mud pack at the beauty salon. The second card, you write, yesterday, my uncle drank a quart of shellac. On the third card, I recently got a job as a waiter or waitress at an insane asylum. The fourth card reads, I've been training my dog for months, and today he went on the paper 3 times. And finally, the last straight line is, I told my wife or husband to talk to me during sex. Now, those are the straight lines. The punch lines are as follows. She looked great for 2 days, then the mud fell off. Next punch line, he died, but what a finish. Third punch line, I serve soup to nuts. Fourth punch line, twice while I was reading it. And finally, the last punch line, last night she called from a motel. So, the straight lines are on top of the punch lines. In other words, the ones that match follow. In other words, we've got number 1 matches number 6, the answer to it. Number 2 goes to number 7, number 3 goes to number 8, etc., until number 5 goes to number 10. So when starting off, if you watch the presentation, you can see when you give an example of a straight line and a punch line to the spectators, you read the first one, my mother-in-law got a mud pack at the beauty salon, and then you read the bottom, last night she called from a motel. It makes no sense, and you point that out. You have 2 spectators help out. They're going to be the wonderful comedy team, and you're going to be the MC. And from here you take and you have them cut the packets, just like so. And they may cut as many times as they like. And once that's done, you have a spectator hold out their hand, and you deal 5 of the cards, reversing their order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other spectator gets the remainder. So each has 5 cards. You now have a third spectator help out. And what they do is they use the phrase, "Will the jokes match?" And they will point to one of the 2 spectators. And let's say this spectator is pointed to first. Will is the first word, W-I-L-L. If this spectator is pointed at, they duck a card for each letter. In this case, W, I, L, L. Once that's done, you take a card from each of them from the top, place them together onto the table. Second word in Will the Jokes Match is the. Let's suppose this spectator is pointed at. So they duck 3 cards spelling the. T, H, E. The. The top card again is removed from each of their packets and placed on the table. Jokes. J-O-K-E-S. Jokes. Top cards of each are taken and tabled. And the final word, match. Will the jokes match? That's M-A-T-C-H. Remove the top card from each. Place it down. They're each left with 1 card. Believe it or not, use this procedure. It matches up each correct straight line with the correct punch line, and all that's left is presentation, making the spectators look like comedians. The jokes are funny. They can read them. You go back and forth with the microphone. The one they're holding, they read the straight line. I've been training my dog for months, and today he went on the paper 3 times, twice while I was reading it. That's number 1. I recently got a job as a waiter in an insane asylum. I serve soup to nuts. I told my wife to talk to me during sex. Last night she called me from a motel. Yesterday my uncle drank a quart of shellac. He died, but what a finish. And finally, my mother-in-law got a mud pack at the beauty salon. She looked great for 2 days, then the mud fell off. Each time, whether they're funny or not, whether they're active or not, the audience loves it and eats it up, gives them a big round of applause. You play the MC and really build them up. And this is just a marvelous non-card card trick called Match Game from Larry Becker. Thanks. Patty, would you help me out?
Yes.
Use your mind.
Okay.
Think of a number between 10 and 20. Got one in mind?
Yes.
Good. Take the deck and deal that many cards face down in a pile on the table. I will not look.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Set the deck off to the side.
Okay.
All right. Pick up the cards that are on the table.
The deck?
No, the small one that you just
Okay.
dealt. Now, you thought of a number between 10 and 20. It's a 2-digit number.
Yes.
Add the 2 digits together.
Yes.
Okay? And now count down to that number in the pile you're holding onto the table, one at a time.
Okay.
Remember the card at that number. And then
Okay.
drop the rest of the cards on top.
Of the small deck or the big deck?
Well, the cards that are in your hand, drop them on the ones you just dealt.
Oh, okay.
And now put everything on top of the deck.
And that. Okay.
Okay? Now you're thinking of a card. And I
Okay.
can tell right off the bat it is a black card.
Yes.
It is a spade.
Yes.
And it's the number 1 card in the deck, the Ace of Spades. Guess what? I knew you were going to think of that card, even though I wasn't looking, because look, if I spell ace, that's A-C-E, S-P-A-D-E-S, spades, that's the Ace of Spades, just like that.
Wow.
Not only that, but I knew you were going to take the ace of spades, so I put the other 3 right here. Look at that. Not only that, but because it was the ace of spades, I found all these, the spades here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not only that, but if I flick the deck, it brings tears to the eyes of the little guys on the bikes. And we get the 8, the 9, the 10, the jack, the queen, and the king. So it's a good thing you chose the number you did.
Oh. Wow. Wow. That was very good.
Thank you. This neat little effect is called Further Than That and requires a little bit of a setup. The top of the deck down, you've got the 2 spades, 3 of spades, 4 of spades, 5 of spades, 6 of spades, 7 of spades. Then the 3 aces except for the ace of spades, which is 4th. So you've got the 2 through 7 of spades, 3 aces, the ace of spades, then the 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king of spades, and then the balance of the deck. With the deck set like so, you can false shuffle if you like. Ask a spectator to think of a number between 10 and 20. Let's suppose they think of the number 17. You have them deal that many cards onto the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Place the rest of the deck aside. They have the digits 1 and 7 of 17. They add those 2 digits together. So 17, the 1 and the 7 make 8. You have them deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and remember the 8th card. Believe it or not, it's always going to be the ace of spades. If they follow this procedure, it's the ace of spades every single time. So they remember the ace of spades. They drop these on top. They drop the whole thing back on top of the deck, and you can now turn back around. Your back has been turned while they carry out the procedure, and you tell them that you want them to concentrate on their card. You're getting the picture of a black card, you're getting the picture of a spade, and you're getting the picture of the ace of spades. Just like that, you name their card. Miracle number 1. Say not only that, but look, if I spell ace, that would be A-C-E, and then spell spades, that's S-P-A-D-E-S, spades. We find the ace of spades, just like that. Not only that, but if I wave the ace over these 3 cards here, we find the other remaining aces. And remember, these were spades? Look at this. We have the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7. And if I just flick the deck like this, we get the 8, the 9, the 10, the jack, the queen, the king of spades, and that is how you go further than that. Okay, Jill, I have a small group of cards here. I'd like you to think of any one of them. Free choice. Lock it in your mind. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell Patty. Don't tell me. You may tell yourself. Okay. Got one in mind?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let me mix them up a little bit so nobody knows the order they're in. Not you.
I don't know.
All right, I'm going to place them on the table. And I'm going to tap them in a random fashion. Okay. As I tap them, you spell your card. First the value, then the suit, plural. So club would be clubs, heart would be hearts, etc., etc. And you have 1 card, 1 tap for each letter.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So I will begin to tap. Now you stop me on the last letter of your card.
Okay.
Okay?
Stop.
Stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember your card?
Mm-hmm.
What was your card?
4 of hearts.
4 of hearts. This is called tap, tap, tap. A little bit of mentalism with cards, and uses 6 cards, the ace of clubs, 2 of spades, 4 of hearts, 6 of diamonds, jack of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. If you were to spell each of these cards, each one spells progressively with one more letter than the previous card. I'll explain this in more detail in a moment. The cards are in the order I already described, and you're going to place them in a pattern, 2 V's shapes. So the ace of clubs, 2 of spades, 4 of hearts, there's 1 V. Start the second V with the 6 of diamonds, Jack of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the pattern you need to remember. The spectator is asked to remember any one of those cards. In our example, let's say they think of the 2 of spades. So they're thinking of the 2 of spades, and you tell them you're going to tap the cards at random. And actually, you could have given the cards an overhand shuffle, reversing their order, and then repeated it, reversing their order again to bring them back to the same order, so they seem shuffled to the spectator. But in this case, they're thinking of the 2 of spades. You tell them you're going to tap, and each time you tap a card, they are to mentally spell, one letter at a time, their card. So as you start tapping, they would go T, W, O for 2, and then the suit, in this case spades, which would be S, P, A, D, E, S. That's their part. Spell the value and the suit. They don't have to do the of in the middle. Your job is to tap up to the 8th card randomly. So you're just going to tap anywhere you want, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you get to the 8th card, you're going to tap the first card of your pattern. Remember, your pattern is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that. So you're tapping, they're going T, W, O, S, P, A, D, E. As they hit E, the 8th one, you're tapping here, and you ask them to stop you when they're done spelling their card. Now, when you tap here, they're going to hit the S in spades, and they're going to say stop, and that's their card, the 2 of spades. So if you do this properly, if you tap this card at number 8, and then follow your pattern with 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, wherever they stop you when they finish spelling their card, that's going to be their card. For example, 8 of diamonds. You just start tapping. That's E, I, G, H, T, D, I, M, O, N, D, S. They stop you there. You say 8 of diamonds. Just like that. It works automatically every time. That's called tap